Okay, hello everyone. My name is Janicia Gordon, and I am from group number 4. I'm the only one that's actually doing everything, all the assignments for group number 4. I couldn't actually get in contact with everyone, so I did go ahead and choose the essay, What is Poverty? And as far as the Google handout, I actually couldn't do that because I am the only one, so I couldn't call anyone or reach out to anyone, chat with anyone from Google Handout because I am the only one. So um, I actually had to upload a video from my computer and just send it to, well, upload it to YouTube. And yeah, the essay that I did choose is What is Poverty? I chose that one because that's the most interesting one to me. I did skim over all the other ones also, and they're okay, but this is the one that actually brought my attention to the book. And it's actually about a young poor woman that experiences and gives her definition of poverty, and explains and gives the details and describes what poverty is. Um, yeah, so let me go ahead and start. Let me start with question 1. What is the thesis of the essay? The thesis of the essay is the first sentence of the essay, which I think. So let me go ahead and read out the first sentence for you. You ask me what is poverty? Listen to me. Here I am, dirty, smelly, and with proper underwear on. And with no proper underwear on. And with the stench of my rotting teeth near you. So that's what I think the thesis statement is. The whole tone of this essay was very like an angry tone. So I just felt like she was just trying to get at people that had more than her, more wealthier people. So let me go ahead and just go ahead with number 2. Okay, so the essay is for what type of audience? I think the essay is for people who isn't living the poverty life like she is. People who can't afford the things that she, or people that can afford the things that she can't. Um, Basically wealthy people. So the people that actually pass by her when she's in the streets, or people that have more than her. Like she mentioned in the essay, her neighbor that actually goes to the barber shop, they actually have a car and go in town. People like that. That's what I think the type of audience she's writing this for. Alright, so the next question is, what's the most vivid image one might take away from this essay? I think the most vivid image one may take away from reading this essay is the image of helping those who need help. Like Jo, she actually struggled. Um, and we actually see poor people every day. Um, so basically, Jo just explains poverty in an angry tone, like I said before, so readers can truly understand the meaning of being poor. So that's, you know. And I mean, she did mention that she quit school in junior high, which I like. I mean, I do believe it, but I actually don't believe it. because if you drop out of school at that age, like I'm not saying you will be, I don't know, like, I'm not sure if she wrote this essay or not. That's what I'm saying. Because this essay is basically too advanced for her. Let's just say that. Let's go to the next question here. What imagery does the author use to keep this essay interesting? The imagery that the author used to keep this essay interesting is details from her childhood and adulthood about her struggle with poverty. What made it caught my attention is basically her details. Her basically saying how she went to her grandmother's house. She dropped her babies off to her grandma's house, came back, and her baby was covered with fly specks. And and the diaper wasn't changed or anything like that. So when she did change the diaper, some of her baby's flesh came, with it. That actually caught my attention. That's very disgusting. How she just described her smell. How she was just telling us that how she was dirty. How her smell was, that caught my attention. So that's basically what can catch a reader's attention, and details like that and things that she did explain throughout the story. Let's see. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Alright, so what kind of descriptive languages stand out? Okay, so the descriptive languages that stands out in this essay to make it more interesting is the sense of sight, touch, and smell that she actually gives examples of throughout the essay. For example, how basically she was saying how her smell was. She actually said that, let me go ahead and read out the sentence to you. Poverty is living in a smell that never leaves. This is a smell of urine, sour milk, and spoiling food, sometimes joined with a strong smell of long-cooked onions. So how she explained her smell is disgusting. So that actually ties in with the description languages with the smell. As far as the touch, I do have something to read also regarding that. When she said her hands was cracked, sore, and red. Let me go ahead and find it here. Also, she said her, as far as the smell, it smelled like rotting garbage. So not to mention, this story is it's a very sad story. Even though, when I am out and about and I do see homeless people and poor people, I used to actually, give them money or buy them food, but now I don't. Just the fact that I don't think they're actually being for real. I don't think they're actually poor, which some may be, but actually one I had experienced that they was really not poor. They was actually wealthy. So yeah, well, it was this man that stands on the corner, begs for food and money, and actually he had a mansion. He had a BMW, and it's actually where I was from. He had everything, and he was on the news and everything. It was just crazy, and I actually gave this man $2, two of my precious dollars, and this is what happened. But yeah, now I don't. I feel sorry, but I don't feel sorry. If that makes sense. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so in the essay, a sentence that she wrote is, I have to decide every day if I can bear to put my cracked sore hands into the cold water and strong soap. So basically she did explain in the story that her hands are cracked, her hands are red, and they're sore. So basically it ties in with the sense of touch. Um, Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the next question. Okay, so why was the essay included in the 75th reading text? Um, I don't know, because maybe it was interesting, I guess. I don't know. What I did put here is the essay was included in the 75th reading text because 75th reading text introduces students to a range of classic and contemporary essays. It wants students to be exposed to a variety of rhetorical strategies and writing styles. So that's why I think that it was actually in this book. Let's see. And also, I think that she was just trying to make the readers feel bad about themselves and feel guilty. Um, because she then started talking about her children, saying that her children don't have this and don't have that. And it's actually a sentence in here. She states that my children have no extra books, no magazines, and no extra pencils or crayons or paper. And the most important of all, they do not have health. That was very sad. And how they have infections and stuff. That's very sad. Um, it's very sad that they don't have any money, and when they did get money from the government, they only gave them a certain amount of money, which was, I think, $78 a month for just the four of us, well, just the four of them. So that's actually not a lot. So the government gave them $78 a month, and for her rent was actually $20. So the rest of the money went to food, and for the food, she bought grits, cornmeal, rice, milk, and beans. So, and she stayed in an apartment. She tried not to use her electricity because she felt like if she used her electricity a lot, or used her electricity, that'd take away from their food that they would be able to get. Um, so that's pretty sad. Another thing that actually caught my attention in this story, is when she was actually talking about other children that wasn't grown up as poor. She was basically saying that whenever they do grow up, they will probably grow up to be a drug dealer, grow up to be an alcohol, um, just grow up the wrong way. So she was just talking down on people that's actually wealthy. Um, let's see. The last question: what techniques does the author use to help a general reader audience relate to this essay? The techniques she used is examples of how she really lived, as far as the apartment, how she actually described the apartment, and how actually she said that um, there are paper towels covering up the walls of the apartment. Let me go ahead and read out a sentence. Poverty is staying up all night on cold nights to watch the fire, knowing one spark on the newspaper covering the walls means that your sleeping child dies in flames. So basically, her walls is covered with newspaper. So one spark of flame can burn the whole place down. So so the techniques she uses is examples of how she really lived: dirty, smelly, with no proper underwear on. Examples how she came home to her baby covered with fly specks in a diaper that have not been changed in a while. I do have more questions here. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Let me go ahead and get my other questions that I did right. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so let me just talk about her tone. We all know her tone was like angry throughout the story. How she was like, she said, how she was saying, listen to me, listen to me. That was very demanding. She had a very direct tone to the reader, just basically trying to cause us to feel guilty and whatnot. Oh, and she was married. Let me go ahead and go to that paragraph. Okay, so she just stated, poverty is remembering. It is remembering quitting school in junior high because nice children has been so cruel about my clothes and my smell. The attendance officer came. My mother told him that I was pregnant. I wasn't, but she thought that I could get a job and help out. I had jobs off and on, but never long enough to learn anything. Mostly I remember being married. I was so young then. I am still young. For a time we had all the things we have. There was a little house in another town with hot water and everything. Then my husband lost his job. There was unemployment insurance for a while and what free jobs I could get. Soon all of our nice things were repossessed, and we both moved back here. I was pregnant then. This house didn't look so bad when we first moved in. Every week it gets worse. Nothing is ever fixed. We now have no money. There's were a few odd jobs for my husband, but everything went for food then, as it does now. So basically, she was married. I just want to know how old she was because she keeps saying that she was young, and she was pregnant, and I really want to know how old she was, and she was married and everything. So, um, and she didn't mention that she did have worms. Um, but she didn't have any worm medicine. She did mention that her children's nose always run, but they couldn't afford any medicine. They lived in an apartment. Their apartment was cold. They couldn't use their electricity because it cost money. They didn't have any soap, so they had to just bathe with water because soap was actually too much. When she did actually save up enough money to get soap, she went to the store and the soap was actually 2 cents more, so the soap was higher in price. So she couldn't even get soap then, just because she was short 2 cents. Um, let's see. She did state that insects was in her food, her nose, their eyes, and crawling all over them while they're asleep. Um, and at the end of the story, basically she was being angry. Well, she was in her feelings, I guess. Um, so she couldn't afford anything. As far as what the government was giving her wasn't enough. She could barely put food on the table. She couldn't buy soap. She couldn't buy anything. She had enough to get food and enough to pay the rent. so she didn't have any car, anything like that. As far as washing her children's clothes, every day, she do wash their clothes with water, and she just hope, by the time morning come, before they go to school, it'll be dry for them. She did mention that. So yeah, let's see. She did mention that as far as birth control, she couldn't get birth control. She had 3 kids. She couldn't get birth control because, for one, she didn't have any money, and birth control is very expensive, and it's even expensive now. So I don't know how old she is, but I'm pretty sure wherever year she was, you know, in the situation, birth control was high. So let's see. So yeah, I actually think that's it. Um, yeah, I actually think that's it. Basically, the whole story is about a young woman. I don't know how old she is, but she stated in the essay that she is young. She may look older than she is, because her back has always been over from washing every day for so long. Um, Washing clothes at that. So it's about a young woman that is actually struggling, experiencing poverty. Um, and she does explain it very good. She gave examples. She described what is poverty. Her tone and demeanor is, she's angry throughout this essay. So that is it. I did choose the story "What is Poverty" on page 115, by Joe Goodwin Parker. So that actually sums everything up. Um, Hope everybody have a great day. Bye.